Hi everyone! It's me again. If you're sick of me, I'm sorry. You're just gonna have to deal with me because I like Mega Man. So this is Mega Man 2 for the Game Boy. Chrissy's running it. I'm gonna be doing all the commentary. This is the superior Mega Man 2, and we are gonna be getting off to a start here in a couple seconds. So this game, as you can see right there on the title screen, was released in 1991 in Japan and 92 in the US. Following the Mega Man Game Boy tradition, it features 4 Robot Masters from Mega Man 2 and 4 Robot Masters from Mega Man 3. So the first thing most people notice about this game is that it's a bit quirky. The development of this game was outsourced to a third-party studio from Capcom and Nintendo, who didn't quite get Mega Man right, but I find this game very charming. And I really like its music, and that's a genuine statement before anyone, is like, lol, funny, good joke. No, that's genuine. And we are off, pending a little bit of stream delay here. We are going to be starting with Metal Man stage in this game, which is a route you can take in NES. There's a couple reasons for it in this game. Since we don't have fancy platforming tools in this game like we did in NES, it's really all about weakness order. Metal Man stage is relatively short and fairly easily beatable with just the Buster. But what really makes this stage the best pick for going first is a really cool trick we can do in the boss fight. You may remember from the last run that we were essentially able to make Metal Man just stand there. That's kind of baby mode compared to what we can do in this game, but I will talk about that when we get there. For now, Chrissy is just going to be bustering and damage boosting. Lots and lots of damage boosting to get through this stage. We're hoping for some health drops so that Chrissy has a good amount of health to make it through this stage and the boss fight safely. No 5-frame jump. I don't actually know if those are possible on the Game Boy. Anyways, that's not relevant. So it's faster to jump across these conveyor belts, even though in this game we can slide. I guess for some contextual reference, 1991, this game was released the same year as Mega Man... I think that makes it the same year as Mega Man 4 or 5. Definitely a bit later than 2 NES, so we got some health drops there, which is awesome. So Chrissy is going to try and do a very specific series of movements here in order to make Metal Man do a very specific series of jumps. And if we do everything right, Metal Man is essentially going to get stuck in a corner. Like that. Since Metal Man can no longer jump, he can't execute his Metal Blade throwing attack pattern, which allows Chrissy to just stand there and buster. Cool. I love how the conveyor belt turns off, but Mega Man still moves. Shrug. So now we have Metal Man's Metal Blade, which, if you remember from the last game, is pretty good. So we're going to be moving on now to... Don't quote me on this, we're just gonna have to wait and see, but I'm pretty sure Woodman stage is the next one. Look at Mega Man standing there with his very good boy rush. I love that sprite work, it's really cute. Yeah, so now we're on to Woodman. Once again, we're going to be taking a lot of advantage of our Metal Blade. Again, since we don't have those platforming tools we had in the NES game, it's pretty much going to be all, just walking, jumping, shooting, and sliding. The song is really good. What's really interesting about the music in this game, at first reaction, you'd probably say, well, this is just, completely original music that maybe sounds like Mega Man music, but isn't really the same. Tangent, top route here. Top route is faster if you're really good. Otherwise, it can be a little slower, but Chrissy's moving pretty well here, so he should be making up his time. You can use the Rush Marine that we just got to go the easy bottom route there. Anyways, back to the music. The interesting thing with this soundtrack, you'll start to notice if you listen to it enough, is that a lot of these songs pull their chord progressions and melodic structures very subtly from NES, from music from Mega Man's 2 and 3. The thing is, it's not necessarily the right song in every case. This is not Woodman's song, is definitely true. I believe this song pulls a bit from, Airman stage? I don't remember what it is offhand. It's kinda, you have to sit there and listen to the songs to really figure out what's up with that. Cool. And that was... Woodman fight. Really easy. Metal Blade. Easy stuff. Next on, we are going to be moving on to Airman stage. Since that's with these Mega Man Game Boy games where you'll only have sets of 4 Robot Masters instead of 8, sometimes they alter the weakness wheels a little bit because they don't necessarily take, 4 contiguous weaknesses. But in this case, Airman is weak to the Leaf Shield in the NES game, so this is accurate. Another really good song here. No comment on the Tiki Head there. This game is great. Oh, actually, speaking of these Tiki Heads, I need to talk about the version differences in this game. So, Chrissy is most likely playing on the European version of this game. So, the Game Boy is completely region-free. You can play any region Game Boy game on any region Game Boy. Also, since, Game Boy being a portable console doesn't rely on, conventional TVs and therefore conventional TV standards, all of these games run at the same frame rate of right around 60. The thing is, there are subtle version differences between the US, European, and Japanese version of this game. The notable one in this stage is that those Tiki Heads that we passed earlier are positioned slightly more favorably in the European version. For that Lightning Lord section there, the little cloud guys, in this game, unlike in NES, you actually can make them spawn faster by being farther across the screen. So Chrissy was doing some jumps. Kind of jumps forward to make sure that the Lightning Lord spawned as fast as possible. I'll mention a couple other subtle version differences later in the game as they become relevant. Now it's time for Airman's easy fight in this game. Because of the way that you can just slide damage boost in this game, where if you're sliding, you don't get knocked back. And so you can just slide right into Airman there, no matter what pattern you get, and just start pouring Leaf Shields into him. What's really interesting about this game one really interesting thing that I don't think we got to see there, in this game, unlike in NES, the leaves in the Leaf Shield actually have individual hitboxes, and they can separate. We didn't get to see that there, but that does happen a lot in that Airman fight. You'll see Mega Man just standing there with like 3, 2, or 1 leaves, and you're just like, wait, what? So now we're on to Crash Man stage. Just like on the NES, this stage has a lot of vertical movement and more damage boosting slides. So now we have Rush Jet. Kind of the same as in Mega Man 2, where we got the item 2 from Airman. We got Rush Jet now, because we have a good dog. Rush Jet in this game is like in Mega Man 3, where you have completely free movement. So, we're going to be taking advantage of Rush a lot in this, from the run from here on out, basically. Because Rush can just let us go anywhere, especially when there's verticality involved. Rush is just super useful. I love this song. It's just so, I don't know, I really like, this is actually Crash Man's song, more or less. But this version of it's really good. And yeah, take that right side route there, and we get a free E-Tank, and just more movement with Rush. So, Crash Man fight coming up here. The trick with this is, they pulled a little bit of NES Mega Man 2's questionable game design. You don't actually have enough air tornadoes, which is Crash Man's weakness, to kill Crash Man. So Chrissy is going to hit Crash Man with 1 Buster Shot, which is going to do enough damage so that Chrissy can just hit Crash Man with air tornadoes from here on out. Looks like Chrissy missed one. So once he's done with all the air tornadoes, he's going to have to go back and do 1 more Buster Shot. No big deal. The menu is really fast in this game, so that's not a huge time loss. Menuing is impossible, though. And Crash Man's kind of a jerk. And there you go. Nice fight. That fight can really go wrong if you don't know what you're doing, but Chrissy managed to recover from the missed shot. No problem, really smoothly. Cool, so that was all 4 of our Mega Man 2 Robot Masters. And now it's time for something the NES almost never gave us, or even never to this scale. Cutscenes. That's right. Cutscenes. Chrissy gets to take a nice little break here. Look at this Wily Castle also. Like, this Wily Castle's super dramatic. I love it. Just like the fortress with the claws and the big towers. So Mega Man has found Dr. Wily's fortress. He's like, oh, there's a hole here. Oh my god, it's Dr. Wily. Oh, Wily's getting away. Oh, Mega Man. Oh, Wily's getting away. Oh, Mega Man's advancing. Oh, Wily's getting... No, there was a hole! Ah! Alright, cool. Now it's time for some Mega Man 3 Robot Masters. So in this game, unlike in the first Mega Man Game Boy game, we get full stages for our second set of 4 Robot Masters. Unlike the third game, however, they're still in capsules instead of a standard stage select. But the order is really easy to remember. You start in the bottom left with Magnet Man stage, and then you just go counterclockwise, and that'll take you through the weakness order of these Mega Man 3 Robot Masters. So for now, things are largely the same as they were before. We're damage boosting a lot, taking advantage of the property of the slide that lets us just keep moving through damage boosts. We're using a lot of Metal Blade, free motion Rush Jet lets us get around really easily. We have these weird 4-pixel tall Yoku blocks that are different than NES. And we're going to skip these Yoku block sections with Rush Jet, because Rush is a good boy. Rush is an excellent boy. Rush is like the best boy. Well, Mega Man's the best boy. I don't know. They're both good boys. So the Metal Man fight coming up, it's a little bit different than on the NES. Magnet Man. I always get those two names messed up when I commentate this game. Magnet Man dies really, really easily to the Metal Blade here. So Chrissy is just going to be doing some fairly specific movement, just kind of tracking Magnet Man's pattern. And with how small this boss room is, it's really easy. So yeah, Magnet Man just does this if you're close to him. If you're farther away, he'll do a different attack. So we just stay close. On the NES, Magnet Man's pattern is actually random, so it's pretty nice that it's predictable in this game. Alright, so next up, moving through our weakness wheel and clockwise, which is pretty convenient, makes this easy to remember. Is Hardman, Magnet Man's true weakness robot master in Mega Man 3. This is kind of our last normal stage, is what I'll say. Once we get the Hard Knuckle, things are gonna get fun. For now, just slides, not the bees. Not the bees. Nice little rush coil there. That's quite a bit faster than climbing up the ladder normally. This is actually very similar to Hardman's stage in NES, where we're just using rush coil all over the place. And the monkeys get in our way. Same deal as always. Hardest room in the game right here. Oh, Chrissy's actually gonna wait. So that means I don't get to talk about the ladder wiggle. No big deal though. I think Chrissy made a smart move there to save his health. Because the Hardman fight can go wrong. Not to mention the rest of the stage being fairly tricky. Yeah, that last room can go wrong if you're not careful, but Chrissy's good, so no worries. So the Hardman fight. So the magnets in this game, I believe, track to, enemies that they can hit. Which means they can track to Hardman's fist, so Chrissy has to be careful about where he fires the magnets from. And the fight's already over, and I didn't even get to finish that sentence. So, now we have the Hard Knuckle, which is where things are gonna get interesting. So if you've ever played Mega Man The Wily Wars on the Genesis, or, this game, or seen speedruns specifically, you might know that the Hard Knuckle has a tendency to break games. Doesn't happen on the NES, but in both of these ports, it does. So, to make a long story short, by firing the Hard Knuckle at the same time, like on the same frame as you do a screen transition, we can do a similar thing to what we did on the NES to desync the screen ID counter from the visual display of the screen. Essentially zipping. And yeah, so Chrissy's gonna be doing that. It's a frame-perfect trick when you're in free fall. it's a 3-frame window when you have a ladder across the screen transition. So there's another version difference from Europe. Oh, there's a zip. There wasn't a block underneath the last platform in the room full of Met Dozers. There is a block in the other 2 regions. So that's one of the reasons the European version is faster. And yeah, there was that hard knuckle zipping that I talked about, with desyncing the screen counter from what's being visually displayed, allowing us to just kind of walk through the game. We're going to be seeing a couple more of those tricks in the run. I believe there's a couple in Wily's stage. Singular. There's only one. But for now, it's time for the Top Man fight. Same deal as Top Man on the NES, where Top Man spins around and is invincible. Except not actually to the hard knuckle, so easy. I totally knew that. I wasn't just correcting myself at all whatsoever. Definitely. Cool, so now we're on to our last Robot Master. Which is gonna be, if you're keeping track of your Mega Man 3 weakness wheel here, is Shadow Man. And I'm a total liar because it's Needleman, and I don't know why I said it was Shadow Man. I did that the last time I commentated this game, too. I don't know why I always forget about Needleman, because this is my favorite song in the game, too. This song owns. Like, the music in this game is good, it's a little quirky, but this song is a jam. Like, unabashedly, this is the good stuff. I love this song. But yeah, this is Needleman's stage. So we're gonna be using a lot of Rush Jet. I don't know if we get any zips in this stage. It kind of depends. There's a lot of zips you can do in this game at a high level. It's kind of the same as Mega Man 2 NES in that regard, where you can do as many zips as your skill level demands. God, this song is good. So yeah, just moving through needles here. Chrissy is playing it a little safe, it looks like, and not damage boosting as much as he could. Which is a smart move for this upcoming boss fight and the rest of this stage, which can be a little tricky. Stopping to grab that health there, and we're gonna go right under that big stomper. And so Needleman, since we don't have Needleman's weakness from the NES, we're gonna be using Top, which is a thing with the Game Boy games. Again, they sometimes change the weakness order because there's only 4 Robot Masters. Top works a lot better in this game than in Mega Man 3 NES, so that's good. That makes that fight rather easy. Still, you have to take quite a bit of damage because of the fact that Top Man's weapon is contact-based. That's always been a weakness of Mega Man games, in my opinion, where you'll have, like, contact or close-range-based weapons. Well, Mega Man also takes a heck ton of damage. Cool, so now we're done with our Robot Masters. This is Quint. Quint is Mega Man from the future. Don't ask. That's just the plot of this game. There's time travel, and it's weird, and it makes no sense, and that was Quint. Quint is Mega Man from the future who has a pogo stick. Yeah. Yeah. So now we have Sakugarne, or aka Future Mega Man's super cool, super fun pogo stick. So now we're on to Wily Castle. But oh no! Dr. Wily is escaping! Where's he going? Oh, he's going to the Dr. Wily, space base, I guess? And so Mega Man is gonna follow Dr. Wily into space, which is a theme in the Game Boy games, which I think is just great. Dr. Wily is just like, I'm gonna build bases in space, and then Dr. Wily's space base is basically a Salvador Dali painting. Because Mega Man 2 Game Boy. Chrissy is going to be giving us his best attempt here to do some more hard knuckle zips. Looks like he didn't quite get that one. As I said, they're really small frame windows, even when you have a ladder to set them up. There we go. So yeah, Chrissy has now desynced the screen by one vertical tile, I think, and messed a bunch of other stuff up. So yeah. I just love Dr. Wily's Salvador Dali surrealist space bass. Mega Man 2 Game Boy is just a wild ride, and it's wonderful. It's really, really wonderful. Oh hey, there was that ladder wiggle I was talking about earlier. When you take damage while climbing up a ladder, Mega Man doesn't stop going up, so he'll just do his, like, damage animation while wiggling back and forth and still moving up a ladder, which is pretty awesome in my IMO. Do, 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 do. So we're going to be using Rush Jet here to skip these Lightning Lords, make things pretty easy. And now it's time for Dr. Wily. So Dr. Wily has 3 phases. The first one, we're going to be fighting with Rush Jet. We need to be careful in this phase. Chrissy has to kill Dr. Wily in a certain way, or he runs the risk of soft-locking the game after this phase of the fight, which is bad. But he should be okay. Chrissy is very well practiced in running this game in a resetless setting, and I will probably talk about why later. Okay, so we're good. The screen scrolled, no worries. Phase 2 of Wily, we're going to be killing with future evil Mega Man's pogo stick, the Sakugarne. As is tradition in the Mega Man Game Boy games, the bonus robot, typically known as the Mega Man killer of that game, that robot's weapon is Wily's weakness. And final phase, time is going to be on last hit here, is the Wily dinosaur. This phase is really easy. We're just going to use the Buster. It has 3 attacks, this little missile, the things that fall from the sky, and pushing its skull forward. Very ferocious device here. I think Wily kind of ran out of ideas. And time! GG Chrissy. Cool, so that was our Mega Man 2 block of the Mega Man block. That was Mega Man 2 Game Boy. If you like this game, currently ongoing on the one and only Speed Gaming channel, twitch.tv/speedgaming/speedgaming1 and 2 and 3 and 4, etc. I think there's like 8 of them now. There is an ongoing tournament of this game, so if you enjoy Mega Man 2 Game Boy and want to watch it more, come check out the tournament. I believe they're in the middle of the 2nd round of matches now, and I'm pretty sure Chrissy is still in, so if you want to go cheer Chrissy on and want to enjoy some more Mega Man 2 Game Boy, go enjoy the rest of this tournament. Meanwhile, here on Power Up with Pride, keep watching. Next up is some nerd named Proto Magical Girl playing some weird game called Mega Man 1. So that should be pretty fun. And with that, I'm Proto Magical Girl. Definitely done for the day. Not doing the next run or anything like that, so I will see y'all later.